Hi there, I hope you're doing fine wherever you are today. It came to my attention that mixed kids are really struggling out there, especially when you're in a society where color means everything, where color affects how you'll be viewed in school, where color affects how you'll get a job, where color affects how members of the family will discriminate you. Having a mixed person makes it so difficult for them, especially in the United States. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the results of interracial marriages. Of course, I don't have any problem with interracial marriages, but there are some things that people don't look into, like generally, what are the consequences of what am I going to do? Or if I'm engaging in this, how am I going to be responsible for some things which I might want to do? And how will this child affected? So here today I'm here to present the struggles that mixed children go through. Mixed children identify or don't identify themselves as black or white. They are neither black, they are neither white. At some point, some chooses the other side, but at the same time feels guilty of the other side because you're mixed. And that's not a problem. It's not your problem as a child because you can't control the outcome of any relationship. A child can be born, they can be anything, they can be any color, black or white, but it doesn't matter. But when it becomes that it matters, it becomes a problem because there's issues with racial colors. So let's watch this video and then come back, talk about it. I don't think this is something nice, but again, we have to address it because it's happening in our society. It's happening where we live and we see these things. So let's come back and talk about it.
Mixed children who have white mothers tend to be more exposed to internalized racism and colorism because of the lack of intersectionality among white feminists.
People are like, yeah, children with white moms tend to be a little anti-black. And I was like, shoot, I got a white mom. I will admit that there was some definite anti-blackness stuff when I lived with my white mom.
And my grandmother sees my brother's shirt and he's wearing a shirt that looks just like this with Malcolm X and the rifle. And my grandma is like, really? Malcolm X with a gun? So violent.
We live in a predominantly white area in a country that's controlled by whiteness. The information that you receive about black people from society is all just stereotypes. This is what can cause them to begin to see their blackness in a negative light. Because no one at home is mentioning their blackness and how it's powerful and beautiful.
This is a Facebook post from my uncle. You can pause to read if you want. But basically, he was saying that he'll kill any Black Lives Matter or Antifa protester if defund the police were to actually be achieved. He knows that I'm very passionate about Black Lives Matter and have always been attending or organizing protests. So when he says stuff like that, he's directly threatening my life.
But so many commenters were saying things like, oh, I didn't know my culture. I have a white mom and I didn't know my culture. Why would you expect a white woman to teach you about your black culture? Where was your black father? And the issue is misogynoir, where some black men, not all, but some black men are only with white women because of the closer proximity to whiteness, and they put down their own women and own culture as a result. Us mixed kids need to combat that misogynoir as well as the internalized racism.
Well, my mom was definitely like this before she had me, before they met. And she, the family was worse. Honestly, they had a nickname for my dad. It involved the N-word. That was really hard to find out.
So I posted on Facebook about neocolonialism and white tourism in the Bahamas, and here's my white family's response. My main problem is with this first sentence. Please remember that you're half or more white. That is so out of pocket. How are you just gonna assume that my ancestors were sexually assaulted? Off rip.
In elementary school, I remember telling people that I was white. I never said black. And if people asked, I would say, oh, well, white and black. I would always put white first. And I hated my hair. I hated it.
If you want your child to be proud of who they are, their blackness is a part of that. You can't just pick and choose parts of our identity that you want to accept and dismiss the other. That just further reinforces the idea that blackness is taboo and negative.
You clearly don't know how race works because, no, I'm not half white. I'm racially 100% black, just like my mom has green eyes, but that doesn't mean I'm half green-eyed. My experience is black. That's all I know. I won't be half denied a job. I won't be half murdered by the police. I am black. That's it.
So I was in 3rd grade, okay? My mom used to walk me to school every day. Again, my mother is a black woman and I'm light skinned. When we get to the school and my mom kissed me goodbye, the kids started teasing me. And it was happening often. And the kids were saying, that is not your mommy. You're white and she's explicit. And she's black. And now I'm from England, okay? And so coming to this country, I was still, young enough that I remember more of England than America at the time. And I didn't understand what that meant because I had never paid attention to the fact that my mother was darker skinned than I was. She was just my mom. I didn't notice. So I felt uncomfortable and I felt embarrassed. I didn't know why they were saying that. And so here I am, 3rd grade. I go home to my mom and I say to her, Mom, I don't want you to take me to school anymore. And she says to me, well, why? And I said, well, because I'm embarrassed because you're black and I'm white. And my mother wept and she cried and she told me I was ashamed of her. And how could you say something like that? And my mom was in so much pain. And I remember the feeling, 3rd grade, of feeling misunderstood and feeling insecure about expressing myself. And I didn't know what to say because my intention wasn't to hurt my mom's feelings. I just didn't know why they were teasing. I didn't understand. And that was the only way I could comprehend it. So growing up, even though that was buried deep in my mind, it always made me feel insecure. So if I were around people who didn't understand me or misunderstood what I was saying or what have you, and I felt like I was going to hurt their feelings or whatever when I was trying to articulate myself, it literally made me really emotional inside. And I didn't even know that it stemmed from that story until I started doing some work and trying to understand, why do I get so angry when people misunderstand me? And it was I had to do my own coaching and so on and so forth. And I know it's a long-winded story, but it's to the point of what I guess I'm trying to make here is that sometimes the insecurities that we have are so deep rooted. They stem from one simple story that just continued to grow because you didn't get your healing or your clarity in that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say we can talk about insecurities, but how do people overcome?
We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. We have no culture. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. We are the embodiment of, but my kids are black. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. We had no help doing our hair. We're mixed kids with white moms. Our white side of the family was like, ugh, too black. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Our black side of the family was like, ugh, too white. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. We are the caboose of every friend group. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Old black women hate us. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Old white women hate us. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Men see us as unicorns to be conquered. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Are you Indian? We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Everybody thinks that we're full of ourselves until they sit down and talk to us and realize that we're severely codependent. We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. Civil rights? What? What do you mean? We're mixed kids with clueless white moms. No matter what you decide to dress like, you will be made fun of.
Tell me you have a white mom without telling me you have a white mom.
My mom had no idea how to do my hair. She tried and she tried and she tried, and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed. So she did the right thing. Put my little 2-year-old self in the car, drove to an all-black, all-natural hair studio here in St. Louis, walked in, set me on the counter, and said, and I quote, "Help me. I am an ignorant Caucasian woman, and I have no idea what I'm doing." The entire hair studio busted out laughing. And my mom took it like a champ. She was like, yes, I'm ignorant. Please, laugh at my ignorance. Please, please. And once the laughing died down, this beautiful black woman came up to my mom and said, "Come here, honey. I'm gonna show you what to do. So she showed my mom the basics: braids, twist, cornrows, etc. My mom got loaded up on natural hair supplies. My mom even went the extra mile and took braiding classes. And from then on, she knew exactly what she was doing. And my hair looked cute as fuck.
My name is Jamie, and I'm a white mother of 3 biracial boys. As their mom, it is my duty and responsibility to learn how to take care of their hair, which is vastly different than mine. To learn this, I've watched countless tutorials, I've asked my family and friends questions, and really, I've practiced. It's my responsibility to teach them to love their hair and to teach them how to take care of it. If you are a mother of children whose hair varies from yours, there is no excuse to not know how to take care of it. Watch tutorials, ask questions, practice. Your kids will thank you for it. Nothing makes me happier than when I finish a style on one of my boys and they go look in the mirror and just exclaim that they absolutely love it. While it might not be perfect, it does get better every single time. Today, we did a quick little 2-strand twist on my oldest, and then he's ready to go for the rest of the week. When we got done, he looked in the mirror and exclaimed he loved it.
So guys, have you seen those people who have shared their history? And I've also tried to balance the situation. I've also shared some clips of white parents supposedly who are also facing struggles raising black kids in their society. And sometimes I feel like mostly the problem lies on the child himself more than the mother, more than the father, because generally you find the parenting system, sometimes fathers don't even stay at the house. They just ensure, have you gone to school, kiddo, and have you done some things, and are you okay, and they'll just leave. And most of the part you'll find that it is the mother will always remain with the child. And the case when it happens that the child, she's a girl, and now it becomes difficult for them because they'll now start plaiting the hair. And just like the black hair is kind of different with people with the white hair, just to say. But now they have to learn how to keep this type of hair and the struggles that they also be facing. But that's not just enough. If we look at the levels of the problems that mixed kids or biracial kids normally face, it is so much tremendous, and it goes a lot the detrimental of their mental health, their performance, their participation, and it also affects how they perform, how they do things. And my message to them is just like to try, parents, while we still haven't gotten into relationship, and I want you to get it right. I'm not trying to discourage any interracial marriage, because at the end of the day, it will culminate down to you. We will tell you that it's not right to do this, like what Dr. Mark Johnson normally say. Of course, I agree with what Dr. Mark Johnson normally says, especially about the interracial marriages. But again, it is not entirely everything that he says that I agree with, and is a great opponent of interracial marriages because he understands the disadvantages that it comes with, especially to the kid. The children are the one who grows with this problem. The children are the one who develop this problem. Most of these kids are always depressed, and trust me when I say this, because I've seen some crazy clips about these children crying online about what probably their white mothers are doing to them. So with that being said, it is the role of especially black men. I'm insisting in black men because it is true that it is black men who goes mostly to look for these women and doesn't understand the economical disparities between whites and black people. White women only go to black men when they are rich, if this black man is rich, because I understand that I understand the dynamics that comes into interracial marriages and what happened between the two group. But one important message is to the people who are profiling these mixed kids. I want you to look at them just as human beings. Slavery happened and it did its thing, and people just have to socialize, and because they are facing a lot of problems when they are with their families, especially when you're a mixed kid and you've gone to your father's family. I mean, you are too white to them. You're not so much black as they can do things, and sometimes you feel type of way of being that. And it's not just your problem. This is something that you can't control because you are born, you are innocent. For example, sorry to use this example, but it's just like giving birth to a child who is disadvantaged in a type of way, maybe physically disadvantaged, is it the fault of the child? It's not the fault of the child. Same as the mixed parents. So we parents, we play a vital role. And again, when this mixed child goes to a white family, is a little too darker as compared to others. So they are left in the middle. How are people going to take you as a person, and how is this going to affect your mental health? How is this going to affect your performance? Because some people are being put down because of this. But my dearest message to if you're a biracial person or if you're a mixed person watching this video, I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you and don't feel bad about it. And you're just human. And most people who profile you for these things, they are mean to you. And I just want to tell you that you are special. Even if you're not white, even if you're not black, you are special. And also there's a special message that I want to share to especially both parties, white and black. For instance, not for instance, but for this case, white mothers, you need to do your due diligence. For instance, that's why mostly some people in Africa, or generally people, black people, we usually don't in for adopting a black child when you are a white woman, because one, you don't understand the requirements of this child, the environment in which this child has been taught. Are you going to erase their history? What are you going to do? This also applies to a white mother who is having a black child. Are you going to still teach them the black history? Are they going to learn about things which he should know about them? Are you going to hinder his race? It's so scary when a mixed child comes out and says that his uncle says this about black people, when he knows that the child is black or somehow black, and the child feels like he's the one who is going, maybe they're referring to, because if you're referring to a group of people whom the niece belongs to, it means that you are also attacking the niece. So that's how they feel. And when you're going out there saying some things about a given group of people, you need to understand the people who are having in your house. And this topic is so deep. Trust me when I say it. If I can say this as an African person, I'm trying to talk about this. Trust me, this is way much deep. And there is a lot of things to say to different parties. One is to the mixed child. Two is to the father, especially if he's black. Three, it is the white mother. These three parties. The white mom and the black father. Why am I saying the white mom and the black father? I'm saying the white mom and the black father because majority of interracial relationships are normally engaged by black men. So you as a black man, this is my appealing to you. Try to consider the consequences that it might come with. Look beyond beauty, because you might be proud you have a white woman in your house, everything is cool, you are unique, you're not like other men in your hood, and they have black women, you have a just try think about it. And if you're having this white woman, is she ready to look after this child, teaching about history, plait her hair the way it should be done, talk high about the child? Look at what these black parents go through. Look at what the lady shared about him going to school and children asking, why is your mother black and you not? Telling a mom that you not look like me made a mother cry. Because these things affect them. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the child, the father. Because they come into this interplay. And it plays a pivotal role in this discussing. This topic is so broad. I might not talk about everything, but I hope my message reaches everyone. Before entering in any interracial marriage, kindly think of the consequences. Are you ready to leave, or are you ready to leave the child? Are you ready to teach the child? Make the child be proud of herself or himself. Make the child understand the society is cruel for people like him or her. and not like anybody understand the things which happens. And I know marriages take dynamics. That's why we have biracial marriages, interracial marriages, and I can't go against that. But this goes to you. You need to take accountability of what you're doing. So I feel like I haven't said much enough, but at least disseminating these videos to you will help you or will open your eye. They will act as an eye opener, especially to young men, probably back in Africa and in the US, because the skin color is same. You're black folk in America and black folk in Africa. You know, the marriage mobility. Maybe there's an African man who is looking into a white woman. I'm not saying that they don't go for them, but look at the consequences. Trying to measure. Are they ready to take this risk? Have they put any big foundation that this child that they'll bring into earth? Are they ready to give her values, teach her the things that I've told you about? People are not so kind to each other, how cruel the society is. You need to make them ready for this, make them understand, know they are, make them proud before just entering into these interracial marriages. So that was my commentary about this issue. Tell me what you think about this. Probably you're a biracial kid, maybe you're a mixed kid. Just tell me, what are the struggles? What are you going through? This might be just a few of children out there who are depressed, children out there who are breaking down because of these issues. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.